What's up, Alpha fam? Brian here, bringing you all a quick review of the Club Alfa Performance Tempesta exhaust that I just installed recently on my car. If you've followed any of my posts so far on the Facebook pages, you'll know that I have a few mods already, which include the JVR coilovers, some Madness rear spacers. I think they're 17 millimeter, push the wheels out a little bit. Carbon fiber front and rear spoilers, BMS air intake, and yeah, I know it's more of a hot air intake than a cold air intake, but you know, I just wanted a little bit more inductive sound. So I wasn't really worried about the couple horsepower power loss there on a car that already doesn't make that much horsepower. And then, of course, lastly, and probably my favorite mod so far to date, is that Club Alfa Performance Tempesta exhaust. After unboxing, I will say that the quality was very good. The welds look perfect. Give those a 9 out of 10. Fitment was a 9 out of 10. The looks, definitely a 10 out of 10. I mean, this exhaust is beautiful right out of the box. And, the fact that the Club Alfa team supplies new hardware with the exhaust, it makes this also a 10 out of 10. So as far as quality goes, I'll give the whole exhaust a 9 out of 10. Install, easy, super straightforward. If you've ever installed an exhaust in any car before, this might be the easiest one to do. It's literally 2 bolts and I think like 7 or 8 hangers that came off extremely easily. And I live in the Midwest where rust is a problem, and my car's got 70,000 miles. And with that in mind, and I daily drive mine in every weather, it's held up very well, and I had almost no rust underneath the car, just a couple little spots on some random bolts, but everything came apart super easy. So the only issue that you'll run into during the install, or I expect you to run into, is the downpipe bolts. Don't be like me and zap them off with an impact using a little bit of WD-40 to loosen them up, because that will snap them. And thanks to me doing that, that sent me on an additional 2-hour adventure for this install where I had to drill them out. It's not the end of the world, but if it were me and I would do it again, I had more time, I would definitely get a torch and heat them up properly and push them out. That process probably could have took 20 minutes versus the additional 2.5 hours I had to spend removing them. But regardless, since you get new bolts, it's not a big deal either way. Push them out, drill them out, whatever you got to do. The new bolts work fine. Some of the pros that I had for this exhaust was, no droning, which was amazing. I was really after an exhaust that, had a feel and a look of the OEM exhaust, but I still wanted to be able to hear it when I wanted to be able to hear it. With that, I didn't want any droning going down the road, which most of us don't. Some people don't care. I care. I have my 2-year-old in the car all the time. I don't want her, waking up from a nap to that sound or anything like that either. So, biggest pro, no droning. Of course, this exhaust also has the valves, so it's switchable between quiet and loud. And with that in mind, I will say that this exhaust is probably quieter than most on the market today, and which is something that I was definitely after. I didn't want it to sound like every other Honda Civic going down the road, and I also didn't want to start it up in the middle of the night or early in the morning and bother my neighbors. So that's a huge plus here with the exhaust, that I can keep the valves quiet. It almost sounds just a tad louder than the OEM exhaust, but definitely deeper. And then if I want it to be loud, I can make it loud. Of course, when it is loud and you're really getting on it, anything over, we'll say 43 to 4,400 RPMs, you get the awesome burbles with all of those shifts. And I'll have a video up of that here soon too. And man, that's just an amazing sound to me, that I always wanted out of this car. A lot of the BMW and Volkswagen guys get that right out of the factory, and I thought, man, how come this Alpha can't do that too? But with this aftermarket exhaust, I got that right out of the box, so I'm pretty happy with it. The only other thing, pro-wise, I think you kind of get out of it is you get that little key fob, Koenigsegg key fob looking thing to control the valves. You know, that's kind of cool. You can be anywhere, you know, within a reasonable range, 20, 30 feet of the car, and open and close the valves. Kind of neat. At the same time, I will say that that's my only con of the exhaust system. I would have much rather had it to where I could somehow integrate this valve switching into the RDNA switch in my car, where it would have been loud for race and dynamic mode, and then normal and whatever A is, I can't even remember, advanced or something like that, advanced fuel or something. It would have been in the quiet mode. So, you know, with that in mind, I think that the overall aspect of the exhaust, I give it a 9.5 out of 10 for everything. It's definitely my favorite mod of the car so far, and I'm looking forward to more collaborations with the Club Alfa Performance team, and hopefully be ordering their tune here soon, and then give you all another review on that. And now here's a couple clips with the valves open and closed and a couple revs.